Good morning, everyone. Myself, Hemant Gautam from class 12 Science, Greenhouse, roll number 17. I am in the opposite team that private schools are better than public schools. The first important topic line is for that public schools are cheaper and more affordable. It provides equality in education as private schools are affordable by only people who are very rich who can afford it. But public schools, it provides facilities, provides small rooms, it provides extracurricular activities too. It is affordable, cheap and provides facilities. Public schools in many countries are far better than private schools. As we talk about China and Japan, they are far ahead of us because they practice public schools. They practice the use of public schools. Public schools in their country are affordable, thus make the living of their parents more good. Also, teachers in the public schools are well trained and get well paid too. With this, thank you.
Good morning to one and all. I am Janvi Basnet of Class 12 Science Room 18 of Blue House, and I support strongly in the motion that private schools are better than public schools. Firstly, about the co-curricular activities. The private schools don't focus only on academic, but also it focuses on curricular activities like sports, debates, arts, dance, music. And this not only builds confidence. For example, the inter-school debate, Olympiads, and taking part in sports, it gives recognition to the schools also. And about teachers, the private schools, they look for trained teachers, and also in private school, teachers have workshops and they train and they have regular training for teachers which improve their training skills, which helps the student have a quality education. And about the discipline and environment, private schools have better, they are stricter and they form a more focused environment which motivates students to be more focused in their studies and learn more. In conclusion, I want to say that private schools are not just an institutions, but also they train students for the future, providing good education and more developed facilities with the use of technology. Thank you.
Good morning to my respected judges, teachers, and my dear fellow mates. My name is Korafabal Singh of class 12 course, roll number 7, representing the Blue House.
Good morning to everyone who are present here and my respected judges and all my dear friends. I myself am William my of class 12 science, standing here to support the topic that private school is better than public school. In private school, we get many good education, like the teachers are well qualified, and there is a good opportunity in a private school. We get good opportunity like we have debate competitions, drawing competitions, and also painting competition with the other schools. We get many opportunities from private schools. In private
Good morning, my respected judges, and to my respected teachers, and to all my dear brothers and sisters present in here. I myself, Dingamo Junamai, class 11, arts, roll number 5. Today, I'll be against the most private school is better than public school. Point number 1, dear speaker, sir. In the public schools, every students they can afford anything because all of the materials like uniforms, schools, bags, socks, everything from their head to toe, it is provided by the government. Whereas in the private school, do they get free? I just wanted to ask those who are sitting down here, in this private school, what do you get for free? You have to buy notebook, you have to buy textbook, you have to buy everything. You have to buy everything, which causes your parents a burden, thinking, where will I get the money? Or how do I earn that money? How do I satisfy my children's needs? Whereas in the government school, your parents, they don't need to worry about that thing because everything will be funded and everything will be provided by the government. Point number 2, qualified teachers. In the government schools, most of the teachers they'll appear exam, for example, NET, etc. and so many on. But in private schools, I want to ask frankly, or I want to ask sincerely to my respected teachers, do you appear exam before you enter in the private school? So in the private school, in the government school, all the teachers, they will be trained or they will appear exam, and then they will be more qualified. They will be more qualified than the private teacher. Whereas for the private teacher, they'll be searching only for 12 pass out or without any degree. Without any degree, just not to. And then I would also like to ask one thing to my teacher. My dear respected teachers, are you satisfied with your salary in the private school? I don't think you will be satisfied with your salary in this private school because you are not well trained or well qualified before you enter in the teaching career. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable judges, worthy opponents, and fellow debaters. Today, myself, I am Ranjana Banya of Class 11 Science, Section A, Roll number 25. Today, I am on here to discuss on the topic, private schools are better than public school. So, I as academic would like to say that private schools are much better than public school because private schools include modern libraries, modern technologies and advanced learning resources, whereas these all activities are not present in public schools. Private schools teachers are highly qualified and experienced, as well as government teachers are also highly qualified and experienced, but they do not focus on students like private teachers. Private teachers are friendly with their students. They treat like their own sons and daughters. Private schools.
Morning to my respected principal, judges, teachers, and to all my fellow mates and to my worthy opponents. I am Ruben Witawang of Class 11 Earth, roll number 17. Stand here to speak on the motions of government school is better than the private schools. So what do you think about the government schools? Government schools, private schools, they are both schools. They consist of teachers, students. What's the difference about it? But in my opinion, government school is better than that of the private schools because government schools provide 90% free education for the children, but in the private schools, only 10% were provided by the schools. Point number 2. Teachers were limited in the private schools, whereas in the government school, teachers were not limited. Let's take an example of history teachers. In private schools, for the history teachers, there is only one concerned teacher, whereas in the private schools, there will be 3 to 4 teachers, which will enhance the children's ability of knowledge or thinking, etc. Point number 3. Government teachers were well educated, whereas they have well qualifications as compared to the private teachers. Private teachers, they are not necessary of qualifications or certificates. Point number 4. Government schools were well looked after governments and maintained by the government. And in the private schools, it is not strictly looked after by the schools. And government schools, good facilities were provided like free education, free school books, free school uniforms, etc. Give opportunities to express their feelings and opportunities to participate in any occupations or occasions which is in the state levels. But in the private schools, the occasion which is held, it is not in the state level. In conclusion, what I want to say is that government schools have free educations. According to the 86th Amendment of 2002, government provides free education for the children between 6 to 14 years. And while some of you might be wondering why all the people living in a world run over the private schools, it is because of their mindset. It is not the fault of the government schools. The facilities provided in the private schools were not merely comparable to the facilities provided or given by the government. So, last but not the least, I want to conclude by saying is that government schools is much more better than that of the private schools. Thank you.
11 hours, 13.
A warm greeting to my respected judges, principal, and my dear friends. I am Kawiluli Ujunamai of Class 11 Arts, roll number 13, standing here to support on the topic that is, private school is better than public school. Well, first of all, have you ever thought about the differences between the public school and private school? In my opinion, I would say that private school have better facilities and are more advanced in technology and have better extracurricular activities, whereas in the public school, they don't have that. What are your thoughts on this? I myself, as an Indian, I will not discriminate against the government of India or the state government because I know that the government has invested a lot of money regarding infrastructures and all sort. As per the Constitution has said, that is in the 86th Amendment, Article number 21A, right to primary education, where it says free and compulsory education for 6 to 14 years of age. But why is the people rush towards the private school rather than public school? Because the people out here knows the condition between the public and the private. The higher member of the, looking back to our state, that is Manipur, one of the corrupted place where people buy a job without any qualification. Like example, like they buy a government job for a teacher where they're not even qualified to run a school or to even read or write or to even read a child's mind. Whereas in a private school, the higher member of the institution are well qualified and they choose a qualified teacher in all trade. They conduct a well interview, they teach the children, they teach the teacher how to interact with the student, and also in the private school, they follow a specific norm and discipline, whereas in the public school, they do not have any specific norm or discipline. Whereas in the public school, they replace a substitute teacher, whereas in the private school, they give themselves, like they give all themselves to the school, like they sacrifice themselves. They think that we are their own children. And in the government school, yeah, they are paid very high rate, but they do not think the children, they do not think the student as their own. They think about only the money. And also, they just want a fame, like they want to call themselves as a government teacher. Whereas in the private school, they want the student to reflect themselves. They want the teachers to reflect the student through them. Like they, it's example a student, and they want the student to sign through them. And we are no longer in an old age era where where people doesn't give much importance. Thank you.
Good
morning, everyone. Once again. Now, I'm I'm gonna oppose my opponent. They are saying curricular activities are not done in public schools. So, haven't you seen any of high school students going yesterday for 5th September for Teachers' Day? If the facilities were good, ask your parents, will they send you in private schools? If the facilities were good. If the facilities were good, no one will send their ward children in the private schools because it makes their living more worse. They are sacrificing their one-day meal for our students, our educations. Also, disrespecting teachers. Teachers are teachers, if it's of private schools, public schools. We should not say teachers did not give attention to the students. Every teachers give attention to the students. Teachers are teachers. Teachers are gods. It's about the private schools and public schools. It's not about the teachers giving attention to students and not giving attention. Teachers are teachers. Thank you.
Again. Okay, I would like to go against the topic that our brother has said that, and that private school, that public school in Japan and China, they are growing up. But we are an Indian. We are not in China and Japan. So, I would like to say that, well, if you want to study in a private public school, well, you can go to China or Japan. But as for the Indian, private school are more better. And also, I would like to go against the topic that is our sister has said that. History sir, about the teacher, history sir, they say that it's in a private school there are many history teacher, and in the public school there are only one teacher. Well, in the public school the students are not there, so the teacher should be only one. So whereas in the private school the students are huge, and also it doesn't depend on the person. It is the history. The history is never gonna change. If they know, they can teach the student well. It is in the textbook, not their own brain. The history doesn't made up of their own story. And also about the classroom sizes, whereas in the private there are small classes, not a big classes like public school. And also they have they select the student, like they give a section A, B, so that they would learn more. Whereas in the public school, they all sit together, gather together in one big huge classroom when the teachers doesn't give much important, like they give much important only to the front people, but they do not focus much on the back side. And also we're no longer in the old age era where education is not important. We are now in a modern world where education is the only key to success, where we can, thank you.
My worthy opponents say that in the government school, she said huge classroom. She said huge classroom where students are fully paid. Have you ever went to government school? Do you go and see with your eyes that in the government school there are huge number of students, and then you also say that many students they are attracted to the private school. So if most of the Indians they are attracted to the private schools, then how can the government school be paid? How can the government school classroom be full? Because everyone is equally accepted, whereas in the private school, if some, for example, most of you, as you're using smartphone, you also watch movie. In the movie, you also see where the rich kids bully the poor kids. For example, poor kids, if they wear the same trouser for a week, same week, or if they can't afford to go canteen, most of the rich kids they'll be bullying. It's also happening in the area. So instead of bully or anything, private government schools government schools, they don't do anything such like that. Government schools, they accept everyone equally, they treat everyone equally, and then they also promote diversity among the students. Or
And about the bullying, the students in private schools are told that they should not handle the situation by themselves, but tell to the teachers and the teachers take the responsibility for that. And about the fees, the high fees are not just in waste; they are invested in other extra curricular activities like for the sports, for the competitions, and also we have state level competitions.
I just heard that what my sister said in a private school. The education, he said the education is very good. Then why? I want to ask why. The private school buy the center. Why? Why did they buy? And you can see in this India, there are lots of people with MA degrees, many MA degrees, but they don't get any job. They are jobless. Till these days, they are jobless. Why? And in private Manipur, see, many of the private school, they buy center. But in public school, it's okay because they do by themselves. They don't get center. One of my sister, she's from DG. She study in government, so she don't get center. She do by her own. She pass by her own. But in private school, they buy. The teacher, they come and bring the supplementary for them in their face. They have to copy and pass. What is the use of the education? It's like that's useless. No need. Instead of that, be a farmer. With MA degree, what is the use of getting? You have MA degree and you are a farmer. You are the use. So study in government school, study. If you are good, pass away. If you are fail, yeah, just follow the farmer. That's it. It's better. Useless. Education money, waste of money. Parents' money is waste. Their sweat, all are waste. So, end here.